Hi everyone, welcome to the channel for the conclusion video of my ETC tournament in Talaveira. Yeah, it has been amazing and I have a couple of things to discuss like I usually do. You know, I like to analyze stuff at the end of a tournament. So I analyze my list. I'm going to analyze also my time management, but also doing more like global analysis on army's result at the end of the event. So yeah, let's talk about that, and at the end of the video I will just leave you with some music and a gallery of pictures, and also including some memes, so you will see there are some funny stuff which are worth watching. Let's start. First thing first, before ETC, how did I prepare for ETC? For those of you who watched live with Team Poland, which was very interesting. I was very intrigued to hear their preparation and the amount of effort they put in. And you see, I'm not really on the same level regarding number of games, although I felt I've really played a lot during, there has been a couple of busy months like April or May. I think those months I've been having like 4 parallel tournaments with 2-3 games a week. That was a bit stretching to my limit, but it's very individual. Obviously, if you don't have kids, if you have more time, then it's totally different. For myself, it's kind of hard to fit everything, so I do as much as I can and as much as I enjoy as well. I would like to play more, but I didn't play that much, as you can see, in comparison to maybe like team like Poland. I've had 46 games since the beginning of the year, and I've only had 4 games in July. The reason for that was I was on vacation 2 weeks in July, which is not the best time for vacation if you prepare for ETC. But that's how it was. So I had some family constraints, and therefore I didn't play a lot in July. Obviously, you would like to have more games in July, more preparation, more tests to feel ready in more matchups, which I didn't have the occasion to do. So what's a bit unfortunate, but that's how it was. We had 3 bootcamps with Team Switzerland in 2025, so I think that was good. Scrimmage 8 versus 8. Less than previous year. Last year we did a lot of them, this year a bit less. I must say I'm a bit balanced about those scrimmage. Sometimes I feel them interesting. Sometimes you're like wondering, is the opponent doing an optimal pairing or not? Are they bringing the whole team or not? Are these the finalists? So there is a bit like a poker strategy, and yeah, I'm being less and less interested in those 8 versus 8. I thought the best for us, the best preparation were definitely the online tournaments, because in those cases you are facing also top team. For example, we won the Erkenork International tournament, which was amazing, and there we had the occasion like to face Team Spain and other teams like that in competition settings, meaning it's very close to what you could expect in terms of, I don't know, not really in terms of stress because you are at home, but it's still a high level of competition, which I felt is very interesting in the idea of getting well prepared for ETC. So I felt those online tournaments were really key for me as preparation, and definitely a big help to also help me choose, first of all, which army and then which list I want to pick. I think this year was a bit different for me because I picked quite late that I wanted to play ID, that we felt also ID had more potential for our meta in comparison to Ogre Khan, and therefore I played ID end of last year, beginning of this year. Then I switched to Ogre Khan for most of the online tournament period, and then I switched back to ID again and found the right list for me, or a list I felt was quite good and useful for the team, and then I played with it. But I didn't have like the whole season on the army, which was a bit different than previous year, where I always had like my army fixed in January, and then I knew that I just needed to put some games on, and I knew which list or army I was going to play. So yeah, a bit different, I would say. In terms of games, I think, to be honest, that's something I've been realizing. I had this dream, like when we made the medal, the second place in 2021 in Novi Sad, I thought like we are not far away from being able to win it. But then the 2 previous year, I think, since 3 years, we faced Italy, Spain and Poland, all those teams that won. So Italy, Spain, Poland in a row. That's the last team that won ETC. And I think all of these teams, they just play much more than us. Because here you see my 46 game, which is maybe the low result for them. almost sure that most of them have more game than that, many more than that, as we heard from the live from Team Poland, for example, and other team as well. I think the team who are really playing for the win of ETC, they play more, and I think that's definitely something I realized. Also last year, I remember when I faced Gondizalbo in the final games against Spain. I mean, he had this book with 2 A4 pages full of analysis on my army list, and I had nothing. I played the game against his list, luckily for me, but that was it. So I thought also in terms of preparation, games played, they just go to another level. And if you want to win it, I think that would be the move for Team Switzerland. I think in terms of players' ability and skill set, I think we are not far from it. We could definitely do it. But what we are missing basically is amount of game. And I think you can measure that. I'm already going to spoil a little bit the analysis, but I think you can measure that in top round, like when we face Italy. We had some games like the one against Dredelf, which we saw was positive for us. But Italy played it and realized it was more like an open, volatile matchup, and therefore we had the wrong feeling about the matchup. And then you get some wrong decision, and then you're going to lose those type of games. I think practice here is the key, and it's what's going to be missing for us to really compete for the win. And I think when I look at our team and also the willingness to put that effort, because I think it's not only a case of are you going to do it? Everybody could be able to. It's a question of organization and setting priorities and so on. It's also a question of willingness. Are we willing to put that extra effort to play those extra 20, 30 games to compete for the win or not? And I think at the moment the mood inside the team, the majority of the team, is more, no, let's keep it. We play what we can, and that's it. And I think, therefore, we are, as long as we put that kind of investment in terms of preparation, we are going to be a team which is competing for the podium. And that's fine. That's totally fine. But I think that our goal cannot be to win ETC with not more game played. I think let's be realistic about that. And that's really something I figured out in the last couple of years. And therefore, no frustration for me. But I wouldn't feel at ease to say openly we are favorite for the win. I think when you play not enough games in comparison to the team that do play enough game and win etc, you cannot really expect that. So I think that's fine, and that's at the moment the mindset within Team Switzerland. Maybe it's going to change at some point, I don't know, we will see. It's always a question what the majority of the group do want. And I think that case this year, when I see also the build up to ETC, it was funny because I received some pictures of my French friends who send me pictures of ESC and so on. I saw that on some groups, and then we are our Swiss group. When I saw people doing wine tasting and a big road trip, it was awesome. I mean, they had a lot of fun, they enjoyed it a lot. But you see, the willingness for us, it's more about also the human experience, the group, the group atmosphere, having fun, getting just a couple of nice days of gaming and competing at a high level. Let's be honest, we want to compete as much as we can, but we are not going to put much more effort in. I think therefore we cannot really expect to be competing for the win. Maybe one time we will be lucky and get an opportunity for it, but I think in most cases, when you put the kind of effort that we do, you can at best compete for the podium, and that's fine. Let's say that's fine. Not every team wants to play 80 games per year to try to win ETC. So I think it's definitely a decision you need to make. Anyway, we still ended up finishing second, so that was obviously an amazing result for us. Our last podium was in 2021, like I said. So it was my first medal at Novi Sad. Was an amazing experience for me to get that one, the first one in Novi Sad. And now I have a second one, which is fixed on the wall. So really, really happy about that, obviously. Like I said, I think it's the best we can expect from the preparation we put in. We won 5 rounds and we lost one against Team Italy that finished just behind us. Let's be honest, when you compare Italy, I mean, they face Germany, they face Spain, they face France, they face us, they face Poland. So it's amazing the run that Italy made. I think they would deserve more the second place than us, and we would more deserve the third place. I think that would have been better the other way around. Doesn't have any influence. We both have a medal and doesn't change anything, but I think Italy made an amazing event again and were really close to win it. And they had really the hardest ETC you can expect. So congrats to them for that and for the third place, obviously. Congrats to Poland. I mean, very impressive. 6th win. You see the amount of points they obtained. They have such a margin, more than 30 points over us. So really amazing. Then we have again Germany. They went a lot of time 4th place and they end up again in the 4th place, couple of points less than Italy. Then we have Team Spain that climb back from worth position. They had a bit of a rough start. You can see 3 wins, 3 losses, and they were able to climb back, getting top 5. Then we have France that lost against us. They had a very good Friday, Saturday, and then they lost the 2 games on Sunday, and therefore they end up 6th. Then we have also Denmark, always very solid team, end up 7th. Team Belgium should be very happy about that amazing result. I think that's one of the best results. 4 wins, 2 losses. They end up 8th, so amazing result for them. United Nation, we played them. Very strong team. I felt for United Nation against very impressive when you consider the fact that it's a group of players. I mean, they didn't know themselves and they were able to put a team together and compete against top team and finish top 10. So that's an amazing achievement for them. And then we have 10th place Portugal. Congrats also to Portugal. Great result. Despite losing 4 rounds, they still end up being able to be in the top 10. So I think that's also an achievement for them. For us, we played against, from the top team, we played against Italy, we played against France, we played against Denmark, we played against United Nations, and that's it for the top 10. And then we had also Immigrants and Colombia, who had a good start, but then a bit lower on the last day. So I think, yeah, let's be honest, we didn't have the hardest pass. We didn't face Spain, we didn't face Germany, we didn't face Poland. So I think could have been harder for us, but as also we had a bit of luck in the pairing, I think. But then when you have that bit of opportunity, you need to convert it. And I think we were realistic enough to then to make a good Sunday. I think in the money time we made some good performance against Colombia and then France to get to the podium. So yeah, really, really happy about that. I think that's a good achievement for us. Top scorer, yeah, Scrub. I think that's no surprise for anybody. We had Barry Lynch, who made an amazing event, 103 points also. And in the group of the 100 points, we have Willem and Carl, so also well-known player that usually finish really high. We also have Shiny, finish in the 5th place with 96. And from Team Switzerland, our very own king of the elves, Andy Geyser. Yeah, when you consider that he lost 20 on day 1, and after that, he only gave away 6 points in 5 games. That's amazing from Andy. Then we have Lucas, strong result. X-Niles, I faced him game 4. A very good player. I think, yeah, he definitely played very good against me and could have definitely got the win against me. So I think I was here lucky to go away with a win in that game, but definitely make a strong impression. I think very good player here. We have his mate, Dicebreaker, for first event with Team Poland, 90 points. That's amazing result. Congrats. And Orombi also closing with 90 points. So yeah, you see that are the top scorer. And for myself, you see I'm really happy. That's definitely my best result. I never reach more than 60 something, never reached the 70 point cap, and now I reach 81. 5 win, 1 loss. Really happy about that. Definitely that's something I've been chasing for a while. Basically chasing a good ETC, not just for my ego to say I've reached 80 points. That's not about that. It's definitely about being able to be someone inside the team, Switzerland, driving the team, carrying the team, pushing the team forward. So trying to lead them and push them forward. And that's something I wanted to have since a couple of years. Never been able to achieve that kind of reference ETC where I see that I've made a step up, and finally this year, where it hasn't been my best year in terms of preparation, but I managed to get a good amount of points and really help the team getting second place. So yeah, I cannot say anything else than it was perfect for me. I mean, I made a good ETC on a personal level, and that helps the team getting the second place to get another medal. So yeah, amazing. I mean, really, really happy about that result. Let's move on to the stat, and then I will also discuss about my list, but I think those stats are very interesting. We pointed out with Team Poland that they have in their, they picked the the bottom 5 army and they won at ETC. So I think that says a lot about external balance. I think external balance is really good in the game at the moment. When you see Sora and Enchant getting the top average, that wasn't expected. Also, you need to put obviously in relation to the number of time that the army has been played, meaning for Sora and Enchant we don't have a lot of players. You see total 40 game played, so it's 6 game per player, so it's not that many players that pick Sora and Enchant, obviously in comparison to the Warriors, where the results say much more about the level of the army. And we expected a Warrior to be top of the list. I think at the moment they are definitely over the top and the best army in the game. I think that there is no debate about that. So I think Warrior were obviously expected among the top army. So were Variant Swarm, who are also amazing at the moment. So I think those kind of army, we were expecting them to be top, and they ended up top. So I think that was no surprise. But then other than that, yeah, we see a lot of army getting in the mix. I think the ranking doesn't matter that much. It's more about, like I said, I think external balance is really good in the game at the moment. What's more problematic, it's internal balance, and that's much easier to correct than external balance. So I think we should be happy about that, and that's what this stat is saying, is that external balance is quite good. And basically you can bring any book like it was displayed by Team Poland. You can pick the 5 worth book in terms of average result and win ETC. So that means that every book is playable and you can do something with any book, which is very good for the players, because there is nothing more frustrating than not being able to play the army you like just because it's not competitive enough. So I think this year shows that it's not the case and you can play anything basically. My lists, you have seen it enough. Let's go into the matrix quickly. I won't go into detail, but as I usually do, you have on the top our rounds. So we won the first round 100 against Immigrants, then we lost 66 to Italy, we won Denmark 91, won capped United Nations, won 90 against Colombia, and won 86 against France. So 5 wins for 1 losses. So was my result: 20 on game 1, 12, then 15, 11, and then 16, and to finish with a loss against Croco on 7, which were, according to my matchup rating, quite okay. So the first game, obviously Egor took some risk, wanted to open the game. It didn't work out this way, and I was able to get a bigger win. Then we have Alberto, who played it very smart, but I was able to basically find a solution to stick on the primary, and that helped me secure the win. I think maybe I was slightly optimistic with my estimation of the matchup. Then we had the third game against Daniel. I think we both saw that I had an advantage on the primary. Didn't find any way to really compete for that, but then he tried to come back and challenge for the secondary and the point with some good attempt, but I was able to play it safe and play on my advantage, and then get some luck towards the end to move the score from a 13 to a 15. So I think that was a bit lucky for me. Also a bit of luck against Ekniles. He played a very good game, attacking game. I was able to really fight for the draw on the primary, which was my prime objective here. And then he made some good attacking play. I think I made multiple mistakes. I was at first saved by some leadership check. And then at some point it started to crumble. I gave away point, and then towards the end of the game, actually, it felt better for me. Late game, I could have then get more points, but I think, yeah, it was a too volatile game, and I think definitely room for improvement. So nothing to say about the 3 first game. I think I made what I needed to do, but the 4th game I have some regrets, and I felt I could have been punished for that, and I was lucky to escape with a win here, 11 against a very good player. Then game 5 was obviously no game for my opponent. It was very hard to come, and then he tried to come a bit out, and I was able to grab more points than I should have. I think I was sitting on something like 14, but then to get 16 was a bit lucky for me. Since he come out, I was able to punish some units and get a bit more points than expected. But definitely it was a good matchup where we could really do nothing in the matchup, so that was expected. So like you see, I mean, the software, or pairing software, has been really nice with me, but also at some point, yeah, it's also due to opponent making some choices towards the end where I could have had some bad matchup at some point, but I didn't get them to get other matches for their teammate and so on. And the last game, yeah, I got a bad matchup against Coco. I could really do nothing about that. I really fight to defend the primary, and then that was about it. I think I could have secured 1 or 2 more points, playing on the secondary, and then losing a bit less from distance. I think a 9 was achievable for me if I would have played perfectly. So I think it was okay in the sense I don't have so many regrets because couldn't have been much worse than that. I still had a lot of control on the game, but I think I could have played it a bit better in the range game, in all the risk management. We had a nice discussion with Coco about that. Your risk management also depends a lot on what your opponent is going to do in terms of risk management and game plan. And I think that one was a big example of that. So very tactical game against my mentor Coco. So it was very interesting. And ended up with a small loss, but that was fine because we had a good win against France, which was enough for the podium. Regarding the list, I can say that I was happy with everything, except maybe the core setup. I think it's fine. Let's be honest, it's fine. It has been doing the job. But I still feel it's a bit of a weakness sometimes in the army list, or a bit of a weak spot that the opponent will try to attack first. So I think that's the realization that I didn't play so many games with the list before sending the list for the tournament. I think I could have tried another core with more dwarfs. I think that would have been a decent choice here. So that's another alternative, but I think the 100 vassal are definitely fine for the price. That's a lot of scoring, that's useful. But I think maybe just more dwarfs and more shooting would have been even better. Also regarding to my playstyle. So that could be an idea for the next couple of months, waiting for the patch. Okay, I made some analysis also for my team. So you have always the expected results or the matchup estimation that we put, then the final result round for round, and then total at the end, which is always quite interesting to analyze. Also, you see in terms of who had the best of help from the pairing software and who had less help from the pairing software. So you see that needs to be put into relation, and basically that column is also very interesting to see what kind of point were you able to grab. So I was able to get a +9, which is basically 9 over the expected result, which is something I can be happy with. We have obviously Andy got +24, so very nice over performance. But I think that's quite relevant, and also somebody like Spoolps who did 59 for us, but was very good because it's 7 over what we expected from his result. So I think that's also something quite interesting to analyze. And on the bottom part, I made time analysis. So like I've been saying on the channel, for ETC, I don't do that the rest of the year because it doesn't matter much. But for ETC, what I usually do, I track the time. So I write down the time, the minutes per turn for myself, for my opponent. And basically that helps me to get a control over, how long do I play, how long is playing my opponent, do we have something similar, if we are not going to be able to finish, what kind of solution should we pick, and so on. In most of the case, I played slightly less than my opponent. I have only 1 game that we didn't finish and 5 games that we finished. I think the 1 game, we can understand that because we had very complex turn. My turn 2 was obviously key. I made 37 minutes, and my opponent turn 3 was also key, and he made 34 minutes. So I think those kind of turn, I didn't write down the 4th turn, but you can see those type of game we both play long. It was a complicated game, lot at stake. Obviously those kind of games sometimes you don't finish them, and I think that's fine as long as both players play more or less the same. Nobody has been really stolen by that decision or should feel bad about that. So I think that's okay. Sometimes we have a gap in terms of time, but it doesn't matter at all as long as we finish the game. It doesn't matter at all. But I think that could be helping you. Why I've been also doing that is to help me getting absolutely bulletproof against sometimes what can be used as kind of psychological pressure. I've been noticing that a lot of top players at some key point of the game are going to ask you to play faster. It's not really based on having a gap in terms of how long did you play and how long did he play. It's more like a general trick of putting pressure to the opponent, because most of the time when you say to someone, hey man, let's try to play a bit faster because we're getting close to the end and it's going to be hard to finish. When you say that, it's likely that your opponent will play a bit differently and will play slightly faster, with the likelihood of mistake increasing. And that's something I've been aware of or careful about, because I don't want to do any mistake due to that, or stupid mistake due to that. So if you have control over time and you see that actually your opponent did play more than you, then it's really easy to reply and say, don't worry, we have enough time, I'm checking the time, and I didn't take more time than you. And that's it, that's the end of the discussion, and that's about it. Sometimes, obviously, you are going to say that because your opponent is playing really slow, but that you should be noticing, like, I don't know, you have a first turn, the opponent is playing like 25 minutes, then turn 2, 30 minutes, and yourself maybe 2 times 14 minutes. If you have that kind of gap early on, you need to realize it as soon as possible and react to your opponent and tell him at the beginning, look mate, I don't want to be a pain in the ass, but just saying, you've been quite long in your first 2 turns in comparison to my 2 turns. Can you please try to play a bit faster, because without that it's going to be hard to finish the game. And that's fine if you say that on turn 3, due to having some data at your disposal which helps you to formulate that kind of argument. I think it's totally fine if you say it in a nice way. That shouldn't be an issue, and that helps you getting ahead of problems and trying to solve some time management issues that could arise towards the end of the game. So I think that's definitely something that you can use. I like it in comparison to the chess clock, which I think make our game a bit then robotic, because you're going to be as fast as possible in every action to clock, and then every time you ask, you clock, and so on. I'm also playing myself chess from time to time, but I think that doesn't really belong to our game, let's be honest. But time tracking on the sheet, 95% or 98% of the time you don't use that data. I didn't use it during ETC. I didn't need to mention it during ETC. I had it for myself to keeping track of it, but I didn't mention it to any of my opponents because I didn't need to. But if I would have needed to, I had it at my disposal. And I think that's the big difference, because it doesn't put any kind of unnecessary pressure, like playing with, oh, you're playing much more than me and so on, if you don't need to. But it's just for me more like a safety in case of some problems would arise, end game, calling the judge, and so on regarding time management. I have that data at my disposal, so I have been tracking it. I should know where we are, more or less, in comparison to my opponent. I don't always calculate it, but I see more or less, okay, my turn 15, my opponent 18, so that's fine, and so on. I track it from time to time, and that's enough to get a feeling. And I think that's enough in most of the games. So that would be my advice to opponent or to people who feel, players who feel at ETC that sometimes they were like, I don't know, They felt like they had games where they struggled for the time management and their opponent played more than them, and so I would advise them for the next time, just write down the time per turn on a sheet of paper, and then you're able to react more proactively next time that something happens to you. So that's just something I could advise you. Anyway, what's next for me? I think that's interesting. So we have the French Interregio, which is more or less 300 players in the middle of France. We have also Team Luxembourg, Team Belgium, Team Switzerland participating, and a lot of French team. Amazing event, a high painting score, which basically is going to have for consequences that we have beautiful armies. So I'm really looking forward to that. The road to Interregio will be for me mainly a lot of painting, not playing that much, because I'm going to be more interested in painting and improving my army to get a beautiful army for that event. Then we have a new patch that is expected for the season, so we have a new season pack that will be coming, and I'm very excited to see that. We should have it for Interregio. I would be happy to try it there. And then we will have the balance update end of the year, and beginning of next year, the first big event that you can get with the new patch is going to be Bellum Lacum in France, very close to Geneva, Switzerland. So you can basically go with by fly, for example, take a flight to Geneva and then reach easily Louvain. And there we have 4 teams tournament, team of 4. We have people from Italy who will be joining for sure, people from France, people from Switzerland, and maybe we had already Belgium, Luxembourg, so maybe they will come as well. But we have a lot of competitive team, very interesting tournament, 2 days in Louvain. So if you're interested, don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help for logistics. But that's going to be, it's always the first competitive event in like the French-speaking community that you can get where we play with the new patch. So I think that's going to be very interesting to play. Guys, that's all. yeah, I need to thank you for all the support, all the kind messages around before and after and during ETC. It's definitely something that also keeps me motivated to continue to do that kind of work, because yeah, if I would count all the hours that I'm putting to produce that kind of battle report and videos on this channel and also on my French speaking channel, I mean, that's a lot of hours each year that I put into that. But I love to do the analyze for myself. I love to share it, to help when I hear new people coming back to the game or starting the game and being helped by my content. That's always pleased me a lot, because I'm happy to try to give back to the community, because that's also the way I improve and I started. But also, I like the exchanges. I like the friendship that I've been able to build in our game, to the events, the exchange that I have in the comment section sometimes. So it's always great when my channel helps me to keep those contacts and getting new friends, getting new people, because that, let's be honest, what keeps us in the Ninth Age, it's an amazing game for sure, but that's the people. I mean, the people are very nice. It's always so cool to see the same players. We know most of the community and you see them every year, you see them in some tournaments. So yeah, I think that's key, and we should cheer that and try to keep that the same way it is. And I think the atmosphere has been great. We had also a great show, I think, of sportsmanship the last couple of years with the 3 winners. Italy, Spain last year, and this year Poland. We had 3 very nice winners. They were very nice guys to play against, and I think that's amazing. It hasn't always been the case. Sometimes the top table were a bit harsh, sometimes a bit hardcore. Not the case anymore. We have very enjoyable games against those teams. They are nice people, and I think that's also a nice improvement for the Ninth Age, and yeah, just makes us willing to go to ETC every year and put efforts and training for that. Guys, that's all. Like I said at the beginning, I'm going to leave you with my photo gallery. So I pick some picture here and there from event organizer, from the photograph, and own pictures. I have also towards the end some memes, so I hope you will enjoy that. And don't hesitate to drop a comment. I will also release soon a poll to see if you would be interested in me doing more live content in the next French Interregio, because most of the French community will be there. So that could be an opportunity for me to do a live video in English to try to give you just like an overview or some insight on what's the French Interregio. How is it like? So many players, beautiful armies. So I think that would be a cool opportunity, but obviously I will be doing it if you're interested for that. So I'm going to release a poll about that. So if you could just give a short answer on that, that would be helpful for me. Guys, take care and talk to you soon on channel for new battle reports. Goodbye.
Sous les étoiles, sous la lune en feu. Je n'attendrai